Hi there, welcome to the final episode of this season where we are back in Golden Ears and we're doing something a little bit different today, and we're actually going to be taking 3 different trails.
We're going to be combining the Menzies Trail, the Loop Trail, and the Alouette Trail to make a hike just under about 5 kilometers long. Should take us about an hour and a half. Let's go.
Maple Ridge, along with many nearby municipalities, make up Metro Vancouver. Bordering the Pacific Ocean, beautiful mountain ranges, and densely green landscapes, these cities are filled with beautiful trails. It is also home to an incredibly diverse array of wildlife and ecosystems.
So we are starting today on the Menzies Trail, where it is parallel right to the road that we accidentally took last time that led us to Mike Lake.
As soon as we stepped out of our car and onto the trail, we were surrounded by the sound of bird songs. It's these sounds that really ground us with nature and make us feel so connected to the environment. In fact, bird calls were the original inspiration to create these videos, as we wanted to share not only the sights of nature, but the wonderful soundscape too. While many of us may not like spiders, they are an incredibly important part of our ecosystem. Without them, the population of insects would be much greater, including pests such as mosquitoes. Thanks to the hardworking staff at the park, these trails are incredibly well maintained. In many places, the gravel paths are wide, so you always know where the trail is. And the junctions are well labeled, so you know which path you're on. This is perfect for walking with others, as you have space to walk side by side, without pushing one person into the bushes. With the slightest breeze, the massive trees and beautiful foliage dance in the light of the afternoon sun. The light appears to shimmer as it bounces off the flowing leaves, some of which appear to glow when hit with light. While these may not be the stunning reds and yellows of fall, the diversity in the colors of green alone are inspiring. While we don't know exactly what happened to this tree, we believe that when it was alive, it may have been struck by lightning. The moisture inside of the tree is a better conductor than the outside bark, causing the inside to burn. This can lead to the outside staying somewhat intact, leaving these burned, hollow shells of trees. You will want to make sure to pack lots of water when hiking these trails in the spring and summer. This area can be very warm and humid, making it very easy to work up a sweat while hiking. While this trail wasn't particularly difficult, we were definitely feeling the heat. As you may remember from our Malcolm Nap episode, here is just another example of a tree stump that looks like it has a face on it. While I'm sure this is just random chance, I find it very intriguing. Partway through this route, we came across a waterfall. While you can hear the waterfall as you approach it, you can also feel the change in the air as the moisture and mist cools you off. This was the perfect place to stop and take a break on this warm, humid day. Letting us cool off before continuing our trek. Shortly after leaving the waterfall, we saw a substantial amount of fallen trees. While we cannot be entirely certain of why, we have found articles outlining how windstorms may be the answer. These windstorms are particularly worse in the winter, where the snow is damp and heavy, placing substantial burden on the trees, making them easier to break. Recent years have reported storms bringing down a few trees, but these storms don't seem to compare to one that occurred in 2008, where a reported 400 trees fell within the park. The Menzies Trail is named after Archibald Menzies, a Scottish surgeon and botanist. In 1790, Menzies was appointed to go on board the Discovery, captained by George Vancouver. The captain the city of Vancouver was later named after. On this expedition, Menzies was the botanist. His duty was to track and document the natural history of each country the Discovery visited, and identify all of the local plants, trees, grasses, mosses, and other vegetation. Further, he had to document their local names, as well as their scientific ones, while also testing if English plants would grow in these new countries. The expedition reached the area around Campbell River in 1792, where Menzies went ashore to explore. He is credited with discovering several new plant species in the area, and subsequently had a bay and mountain named after him, a theme which still continues around parks and natural areas, similar to that which Menzies dedicated his life to. Like we have mentioned in other episodes in a similar region, the trees here are incredibly tall. Made up of western hemlock, western red cedar, and Douglas fir, they can range from 30 meters to 80 meters tall. Underneath their canopy is a dense layer of ferns. In the late spring and early summer, they create a dense carpet in many of these local areas. Underneath the ferns and undergrowth, we still have a layer of moss covering the ground, rocks, stumps, and even trees. Located on the traditional territories of the Katzie First Nations, also known as the Land of the Moss, it is clear to see how this name was earned. Against the backdrop of the greens of the moss and ferns and the browns of the trees, the local wildflowers really stand out. Their simple colors glowing from the foliage. While not always considered remarkable, the same applies in many ways to the mushrooms. As you can see, we have come across a tree that has fallen, but become stuck on the way down. If you listen closely, you can hear it creaking as the trees it rests against sway in the wind. As mentioned at the start of the video, we are walking a combination of 3 trails. The Menzies Trail, the Loop Trail, and the Alouette Trail. The beauty of this area is you have the freedom to mix and match which trails you would like to take, depending on how far you want to go, or how difficult you would like the hike to be. In our case, we branched off onto the Loop Trail, leaving the Menzies Trail. But this path was nowhere near complete. It could be followed near the Alouette campground, and all the way to the Gold Creek parking lot, which leads to the Lower Falls Trail we explored in an earlier episode. We chose the loop trail as it would bring us down onto the Alouette Trail, which brings us much closer to the lake. If you would like a slightly shorter variation of the hike, you can take the Lookout Trail instead of the loop trail, shortening your route. We chose to end the hike on the Alouette Trail, as it gave us a flatter area to end on, and to enjoy the cooler air that comes off the lake and into the surrounding woods. While we stuck to these select trails, there is something in the area for everyone. Whether you're looking to go horseback riding, take in some local viewpoints, head for a swim at Alouette Lake or the many streams of the area, or you want to go camping and immerse yourself in nature for a few days, you're in the right place. This is just another example of the many trails and natural resources available within Maple Ridge. This community is rich in opportunities to get outside. Throughout this season of Let's Go, we hope we have convinced you to get out and explore your local area. We have been incredibly lucky to see the wonderful sights and wildlife within our own community, and we are thrilled to be able to share it with you. We understand that it's not possible for everyone to access the outdoors in the same way, so we hope to bring what we can of that experience to you. At the end of the day, our main goal was to share the sights and sounds of the outdoors, with the hopes of encouraging others to connect with nature and truly listen to their surroundings. Remember to always stop and smell the roses. Thank you for joining us on this season of Let's Go. We're so excited for the opportunity to share these beautiful trails around Maple Ridge.
We have always found a stronger connection to our community by exploring the area and understanding what makes these cities so special to the people who live in them or maybe even visit them. We hope that you're inspired to go out for a walk in your community, and maybe we'll see you again out on the trails.